Welcome to Tirumala Vaibhavam YouTube channel. Today we will dive into another spiritual story. Do subscribe and like the video for more such deep spiritual content.
Let's just take a quiet breath and get ready for a pretty profound journey. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of one of the most vital chapters in all of Scripture, Chapter 8 of the Bhagavad Gita. It's called Akshara Brahma Yoga, which means the yoga of the imperishable. And you'll see this isn't just some abstract philosophy. It's a real roadmap for understanding life and death offered at a moment of absolute crisis. I want you to just picture the scene. You're on the Kurukshetra battlefield. Armies are lined up, ready for a war that's going to be just devastating. And in the middle of it all is Arjuna, this incredible warrior. But when he looks across the field, he sees his family, his teachers, his cousins, and he just breaks. His famous bow literally slips from his hands. But right there, in that moment of total collapse, he turns to his guide, Lord Krishna. And the questions he asks, they're not about winning the war anymore. He's asking about everything, life, death, and what in the world comes next. You know, Arjuna's questions are really our questions, aren't they? They're the same questions that people have been asking forever. What is this ultimate reality they call Brahman? What am I, really? What is this thing called karma? And maybe the biggest one of all, how do I remember you, God, when it's my time to leave this world? These are the huge questions that kick off Chapter 8. Okay, so let's get into it. Krishna's response isn't just some simple, quick answer. No, he starts by building a foundation. He defines the key terms of our very existence so that Arjuna and all of us can really wrap our minds around the incredible truth he's about to share. What's so amazing here is how Krishna basically gives us a map of all of reality. He starts with the big one, Brahman. That's the supreme, indestructible truth that holds everything together. Then there's Adhyatma, which is us, our individual self. Karma is the engine, the creative force that gets everything going. Adibhutam is the physical world we see and touch, the stuff that doesn't last. And Adidaivitam is the subtle, unseen cosmic world. And finally, and this is so personal, Adiyajana is the Lord himself, living right inside each of us as the silent witness. You gotta get these concepts, because they're the key to unlocking everything else he's about to say. So, with that groundwork laid, Krishna is ready to reveal the central secret of this whole chapter. And it all comes down to a single, critical moment, our very last thought as we die. Just listen to the absolute certainty in his voice. Of this, there is no doubt. This isn't a maybe. It's a direct promise from the divine. This is the secret in a nutshell. Whatever your mind is fixed on in that final moment is where you go. If you can remember the Supreme, you attain the Supreme. Simple as that. But, and this is the crucial part, that final thought is not some random accident. It's not a last-minute trick you can pull off. You can't just live your whole life completely distracted and then hope to suddenly think of God at the very end. That's just not how the mind works. Your life is like a river, right? And the current is the focus of your thoughts. At that final moment, that river is just going to flow where it's been flowing all along, towards your deepest love, your biggest attachment, your ultimate comfort zone. What this really means is that our entire life is basically practice for that one single moment. Every thought we think, every choice we make, it's all training. If we spend our lives practicing focus on money or family or our anxieties, well, guess where our mind is going to go when the pressure's on. But if we make it a conscious practice to remember the divine every day, even while we're working and living our lives, then that remembrance becomes our natural, automatic instinct at the end. Now, to really hammer home just how important this is, Krishna does something amazing. He completely blows up Arjuna's perspective. We zoom way, way out, from the death of one person to the mind-bending lifespan of the entire universe. He's showing us the huge cosmic stage we're all playing on. Just take a second and try to wrap your head around that number. 8.64 billion years. That's a single day and night for Brahma, the creator of the universe. I mean, our entire recorded human history is, what, a flicker, a blink of an eye in that time scale. Krishna brings this up to fill us with a sense of awe and to show us that even the most massive, magnificent things in the material world are just temporary. So during Brahma's day, everything we see, all the worlds, all the beings, they pop into existence from this raw, unmanifested energy called Prakriti. Then during his night, everything dissolves right back into it, helplessly. And then the next day, it all happens again. It's this relentless cycle of coming and going, of birth and death, and it applies to everything in the material universe, from a tiny ant to the highest celestial being. And that's what makes his next point so brilliant. Krishna says, but beyond this temporary, cycling reality, there's another reality, an unmanifested reality that is eternal. This is the Supreme Being, the Paramatma. It's never born and it never dies. When all the universes collapse, it's still there, untouched. This is the real destination, the land of no return. Okay, so if you have two fundamental realities, one that's temporary and one that's eternal, it just makes sense that there would be two different paths a soul can take after leaving the body. And that's exactly what Krishna outlines next. He shows us the two eternal paths, laying out the ultimate choice we all have to make. Now, don't get hung up on the names. This isn't about literally dying during the daytime or at night. These paths are all about our state of consciousness. The path of light is for the yogis, the ones who are filled with real knowledge and are detached from worldly things. Their journey leads to total freedom. The path of darkness, on the other hand, is for people who are attached to rituals for selfish gain and worldly rewards. Their consciousness is kind of cloudy, like smoke. Sure, they might get to some heavenly places for a while, but once their good karma runs out, they have to come back. The choice couldn't be more clear, and the results are profound. One path, the one of wisdom, leads to anavriti. That means no return. You're free. The other path, the one of desire, leads to avartate, return. The soul just keeps coming back again and again to this world of temporary highs and inevitable lows. Krishna says that a true yogi, knowing this, is never confused about which path to choose.
And that brings us to the grand conclusion of this incredible teaching. Krishna describes the ultimate destination and reveals just how priceless this sacred knowledge really is.
At the end of the chapter, Krishna says something so powerful. He says a yogi who truly understands these truths goes way beyond any reward you could get from just studying scriptures or performing rituals or giving to charity. And why is that? Because all those other things might give you some temporary material benefits, but this knowledge, this understanding of who you really are and how to get back to the source, this leads you directly to the highest, eternal home. And there it is, the final goal. It's not some physical place up in the clouds. It's a state of being, the supreme home of the Lord. It's a reality that's timeless, changeless, and completely beyond suffering. It is our soul's true home, and once we get there, the endless journey of birth and death is finally over. And so this chapter leaves us with this huge, reflective question. It takes all this ancient wisdom and puts it right in our laps, right here in our modern lives. If our last thought is really the sum total of all our other thoughts, if our whole life is just one long practice session for that one final moment, then what are we practicing for? What in our busy lives is truly worthy of our constant focus and remembrance? That is the beautiful challenge and the invitation of the yoga of the imperishable.
That was today's story. Please do like, share and subscribe for more such interesting stories. Let's connect with another story. Till then, stay blessed.